And we're live. This is Olivier Combe, and this is Angular Air episode 40, the last one of season 1. It's been 1 year since Angular Air started, and this episode is gonna be kinda messed up, but we'll try to make it work because of daylight saving stuff. So. Say hello to everybody. First one, Amy. Hey.
Hello.
And Carmen.
Hi.
Kent is here as well as a panelist today.
Sorry, people are working on my roof. I don't know if you just introduced me or not. I can't hear anything, so I'm going to put my headphones on.
Okay. And Rob is here with us.
Hey, how's it going?
Fine. And he's in a coffee shop. So today is a special episode because it's the 1 year episode of Angular Air. We will have a few guests during this episode and we'll try to make it work. The first one is not here because he's on a call, but we'll start without him. So in last year, in the first year of Angular Air, we had a lot of awesome people. Angular Air started as a two-man adventure with between Kent and Todd. Maybe Kent, you can tell us a bit about how you started this and why you decided to start Angular Air.
Yeah, sure. So the idea kind of I thought of sort of a similar idea back in like a year and a half ago, and Todd around the same time tweeted like, hey, like I just had this idea of doing like a hangout where we help people with Angular stuff, and so we started going back and forth on Twitter, and then it kind of died for a little bit, and then around like October of last year, I started saying, hey Todd, let's make this a real thing. Like we can really do something with this, and so yeah, so we decided to put something together. We were actually scheduled our first episode to be with John Lindquist about the title actually was Hurdles Getting into Angular, and I think it was Igor asked us to change the title because that was kind of sad. So we changed it to Hitting the Ground Running with Angular. And then Aaron Frost said, hey, dude, like you can't have your first episode be with John Lindquist. Like he's really cool and like lots of people love him, but your first episode needs to be with the Angular team. And so Aaron Frost hooked us up with the Angular team, and that's why we have an episode 0. Our first episode was supposed to be, I think, well, it was whenever episode 1 was scheduled, sometime in later in November or maybe December. But yeah, we quickly shoved in the Angular team on I think the 14th of last November, and that's how it got started. We initially started it as a bi-weekly thing because Todd was super busy and so was I. And after a while, I started to think like, let's make this a weekly thing, make it like really consistent, and it just got to be a lot for Todd, I think, and so I brought on the panel, and that's where all of you lovely people join in the show.
Yeah, nice. So Todd is supposed to join us today, but looks like he's busy, like you said. We can say hi to Jeff who joined us in the meantime. Hey, Jeff.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Fine. So everybody's talking to me on the same. So yeah, we can start with saying, well, Angular Air is about Angular, and we all know and love the people behind Angular. So I decided to try to get one of the members, and this is supposed to be our second guest for today, so he will be our first. He should join right about now. And he's one of the people.
I can't tell you how terrifying this is for me, by the way. I have no idea.
Yeah, it's someone from the core of Angular. He started working with two other people on these awesome frameworks that we came to love. So let's see if you can join. Sorry, it's kind of hard to jungle with Windows at the same time.
I can tell a joke.
Yeah, that would be nice.
No, just kidding. I don't know any jokes. How about semicolons? Let's argue about semicolons really quick. Just kidding.
He's here. Hello, Bacha.
Hey,
Hey guys, how are you doing?
Wojta. It's good to see you.
You too.
So yeah, for those of you who don't know who this is one of the awesome people who helped make Angular. He unfortunately left us for better better things, I guess. But he's here today, and well, maybe you can introduce yourself as well. Go ahead.
Sure. My name is Boyda, and yeah, as you said, I started working on Angular pretty early on. I think it was end of 2010 when Mishko and Igor called me. I was in London back then, and they asked me if I ever been to California, and I said no. And they said, well, it's time to change that. And so I was pretty excited, and I moved to California and started working with them. And also Brad was there, obviously. And it was amazing. I think it changed my life in a way. You know, those guys are amazing, and I learned a lot from them. So it was fun.
Cool.
So Voida, I'm curious, how many people at Apple come up to you and say like, "Oh, you're the guy from that video with the belt"? Does anybody recognize you?
No, but it's actually funny because there is quite a few internal apps written in Angular, like usually some internal apps to manage something, you know, and so it's kind of cool. Like I always like talk to these people, like, oh, okay, this is our app, and this is how blah blah blah, and I usually just use their app, you know. I'm not developing on it. I'm not doing any web development these days, and it's kind of fun because then they have like little issues or something, and so I can kind of help them, and they're like, wow, how do you know this? I'm like, yeah, I work on this too, on this thing. And yeah, Angular is super popular.
Hey, but are you allowed to tell us what you are doing now?
Yeah, of course. These days, I work on proactive Siri at Apple. So we're basically trying to make all the devices smarter and kind of understand you better, so that you don't have to specify and configure everything. More sort of like a personal assistant. So yeah, it's pretty exciting. We got an amazing team, and so
Yeah, cool. So since you were working on Angular from the beginning, I guess that maybe you have some stories that you can share, maybe with the core team.
stories. Yeah, sure. I think that's not even the story. It's just what you know. When you achieve something, right? Like when we did the 1.0 release, that was a big thing. You would assume like celebration, like, you know, having a dinner or going for a party, but on Angular team, what happened that day? I remember. I'm pretty sure it was Igor's idea. We just went for a run barefoot, you know. So I thought that was. Now looking back, I think it was very interesting and kind of showing how unique this team is. But I guess I don't know. I guess the most funny story is when I went to New York. You probably heard that before, but it was. I think it was definitely before 1.0. I think it was like maybe when we are updating from 0.9 to 0.10 or something, and we had this huge project in New York, DFA, and they were using Angular, so it was like our biggest project, and they had some issues updating or something. And I remember I showed up at this meeting with them, like over Hangout, and I showed up late, and so they were already like trying to figure out something. And then Mishko was like, when I showed up, Mishko was like, how about we send Voida over and he'll help you with it? And I was like, oh sure, yes. So we booked, like, it was around noon, I think, around lunch, and so we booked plane at about, I don't know, like 3 p.m. and I flew to New York. And you know, New York is what is it, like 6 hours ahead. So I showed up, I think, after midnight, and Mishka was booking the hotel for me while I was like in the cab to get on the plane. And it turns out that Mishka is really good at creating frameworks, but it turns out that he's not as great at making hotel reservations, because I showed up at that hotel like after midnight and it was super cold outside. And I was like, okay, give me my room. I'm super tired. I want to go sleep. And they were like, well, you don't really have a room here tonight. And so I showed them the numbers and all that stuff, and they were like, yeah, you got 2 reservations for reservations for tomorrow, but nothing for today. And so it was pretty exciting and an adventure, because I ended up sort of like sleeping on the reception. The security guys would like always wake me up, like, hey, you can sleep here. It looks like you're homeless. And yeah, and so I was well rested in the morning, and I think we figured out the problems. Even though, you know, I just showed up, and the guy on the team, he kind of already figured out all the problems. So it just looked like I helped them solve everything, but it was not really true. Ido kind of solved it. But it was definitely, I probably won't forget this one.
That's nice. So maybe you can tell us, if you had to do Angular all over again, what would you change? This is hard.
That's happening right now, right? Angular 2. Angular 2 is gonna be awesome. I think Angular 1 is great, and I think I think there are many things we did well. If I could do it again, I think, you know, probably more than like saying, oh, I would do this router differently and that differently. I think what I would focus more on would be, I'd say, core principles, you know, sort of explaining and teaching people more of core principles, such as I think declarative programming. You know, I think what we did with like the declarative two-way data binding, when instead of specifying how you do things like register listener, when this happens then do this, instead of that you declarative just specify this is the same as this and it will just happen. Like the declarative approach, I think that's a great principle for people to learn. And also dependency injection. And now I'm not talking necessarily about the implementation that we did, but more about the principles behind the pattern of doing testability and dependency injection. So those kind of principles, I think I would focus more on that and kind of explaining those core principles and why they are good under what circumstances, rather than inventing too many very special things such as transclusions and all those things. And the reason why I think this is better, or how I learned about this, was actually when I switched to doing something completely different. You know, these days I don't do much web development. I mostly do C and Objective-C sometimes and machine learning, kind of stuff like that. And I realized that those core principles that I learned, even in web development, those core principles, they apply and they work in other fields as well. And so basically what I learned, those core principles that I learned, I can apply them in other fields. And therefore I think it's way more valuable for people, because even if they start doing something else, or they become using a different framework, new jQuery or new Angular or whatever, those principles are still valuable and it still helps. So I think I would focus more on that.
Well, you mentioned dependency injection. I believe I may be misremembering this, but you were the one who started to create the original new dependency injector, the di.js. Is that right?
That is right.
Yeah. So obviously that's evolved a lot since then. But some of the core principles of that new di.js, is in the new dependency injector in Angular 2. And I think that's one of the best features. I mean, it's great, and a lot of people seem to really take to it, even more so than the original dependency injector. So I was wondering if you kept up with that and maybe other developments, or is it more that, and what you thought about it, or do you just not even think about anything Angular and it's just a distant memory at this point?
No. Wait, sorry, I'm not sure.
Do you keep up? I was wondering if you kept up with the development of the dependency injector and other things after you left, and how you think it's come along.
I do follow I do follow Victor Safkin on Twitter to know he tweets a good stuff about and writes nice blogs about the new Angular. I'm totally in touch with Igor. Is part of my family. We hang out. I don't know. I see Igor twice a month at least, and I'm very grateful to have him as my friend. He is a great human. So every time we see each other, I always ask him "Oh, is Angular 2 ready? Is it shipping?" And so I know I know a little bit. I don't know.
What did he say? What did he say when you asked him that?
Yeah, that's an excellent question.
I think now they have beta, right?
It's close. They're trying to work towards beta. It's
so beta's gonna be in December or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I did check out the conference. I think that was a big success. Igor was super excited about it. I skimmed through a couple of talks, and I think I'm gonna watch some more. So I'm still curious where all this stuff is going. I'm not doing much web development, so I'm not actively working on it, but I'm still kind of checking it out and curious where it's gonna go.
Vojta, I'm curious, with the change that you made, moving from front-end development JavaScript, totally it's a total different thing. The only similarity is that you're writing code. So how was that? Was that difficult to make the decision to make that kind of a shift? And has the transition been difficult for you? And then on the community side of things as well, you had projects that you had to find maintenance for and that kind of thing. What was that transition like for you?
That's an interesting question. It was super exciting. I think that's the main thing. I really like learning new stuff and kind of exploring, and so I think that was one of the main reasons why I wanted to just do something else, And so I'm still enjoying this tremendously, kind of learning all these new, new frameworks, new languages, and more new ideas, And I've been always kind of interested and curious about building artificial intelligence, and so now I have a lot of time to actually play with all those existing tools and reading all the math papers, and I don't know, it's fun. And the existing projects, it's true that it was like, I mean, it was not that much effort. Like I've been kind of doing that over the period of past 2 years already, where I had projects that I built, and then we switched from Grunt to Gulp, and suddenly all my Grunt plugins were sort of like, yeah, I don't have time to maintain them. And so what I would usually do was, when somebody showed up and it was sending good pull requests, and I was like, wow, it looks like you're using it and you care about it. Well, here's the key, and just do your best, and that has been working pretty well. Like those people, they are doing pretty good job. I think much better job than I was doing, because I was busy with other stuff. So I think it's kind of evolution of those projects as well. So for instance, Mark is doing a great job on Karma, I think. I think it's better for the project when somebody who actively is using it, when they maintain it, rather than somebody like me when I'm not really using it actively at this point.
Yeah. That's something I'm asking myself.
That open source stamina blog post I'll link it a while ago. But yeah, I'll link to the open source stamina blog post. I think that kind of describes exactly what you're talking about, Wojtek.
Yes, I think I know which blog post you mean, and yeah, I think I agree. But the switch to like a new field is just, I think it's really exciting, because you get this time to kind of reevaluate all the things that you did and sort of learn the core principles, because there's, as I said, there are many principles that you can take from web development and how the browser works and all these things. You can take that and apply it to machine learning or whatever you want. Like it really, if you go deep, if you abstract enough to the core principles, then I think you can apply them in a huge variety of fields. So and I like to be beginner again. It's fun.
Well, thank you for all this, and thank you for your work on Angular. I know it's been really important. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
If you have anything else to say, maybe, or I will introduce the next guest.
Yeah, I think this is great. I'm excited to see where all the frameworks go, and I'm still passionate about figuring out how to build software, and quality software, and how to build teams, and how to make this all very efficient. And I think we are making progress, and I'm super happy to see all the kind of collaboration. I'm excited to see Angular guys collaborating with Microsoft and TypeScript and with Facebook and all that stuff. I think this is the way to get there. So keep it up. And thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. You can stay if you want.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for it.
I'll watch.
Okay. So Votya left Angular, but we still have many talented people working on the framework right now, especially on Angular 2. So some people from the Angular 2 data team are joining us right now. I think they work with Rob as well, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, they will explain some of the work that they do on Angular data for Angular 2 if they join.
Hey, Shai.
Hello.
Jeff, it's good to have you on.
Hey.
Hello, guys. How are you?
Good.
Hey.
There we are. Lost the video for a second.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you fine.
Okay.
So I guess that everybody knows both of you. Can you tell
Most
us?
of us.
Yeah.
What do you mean by most of us?
What you're working on right now?
Ah, okay.
Sure. Hi, I'm Jeff, and I'm from the Angular core team at Google. I used to work with that guy Vojta, but before he left us. But I'm working on data stuff with Angular as well as some other things. But I want to talk a little bit about Angular 2 and the things we're doing to make data.
Jeff,
Yeah?
I forgot to mention me.
I thought he already introduced you.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. So this is Shai Resnick. But anyway, so when we were developing Angular 2, we wanted to look at things that people had a hard time with or that weren't designed very well with Angular 1 and think how we could do these things better, as well as just introduce some new ideas or tools to make data a little bit easier to work with and build more rich dynamic apps with Angular 2. So the first thing that a lot of people had trouble with was...
Jeff, if you can, the volume, speak a little louder. I can't really hear you in the...
Oh, yep, sorry.
Okay.
So one of the first things was that Angular 1 really didn't do a good job with handling...
No, you're still low. If you can, like, talk louder.
Okay, yeah, I'll try to be loud, but I'm in an office, so I can't be that loud.
Okay.
So one of the first things was that Angular 1...
You can take the microphone.
Sure, is this better? Okay, so for Angular 1,
No, now it's just distorted. If you can, you should be like this, okay? Not here, in the middle, okay?
I'll try to balance it out.
Okay.
So with Angular 1, if you did anything asynchronous that Angular didn't Angular didn't know about, then you had to use scope.digest to tell Angular to run change detection and to update the view. And this is painful. It's more boilerplate that people have to add to their applications. And so in Angular 2, we took this idea from Dart called zones. And what zones do is give context to asynchronous operations so that...
כן.
I'm sorry?
לא, אני לא יכול, אני פשוט בהנגאוט עכשיו.
Shai, can you mute it?
אני אדבר איתך אחרי זה, בסדר?
Shai, can you mute your phone?
אין בעיה. אני פשוט לא יכול...
Is anybody able to mute him?
Okay.
Shai.
I'm so confused.
Okay, so bye. Sorry. Yeah.
No problem. But if you get another call, would you mind muting your end of the Hangout?
Yeah, sure. No problem.
Okay, cool. So anyway, zones. So with Angular 2, we wanted to do something that would make it easier, where you could just do these async operations, like interact with a WebSocket or use a different HTTP API, and Angular would be able to update automatically. So we decided to use zones, which is an idea from Dart, which add context to these operations. What is that?
Sorry, it's my monkey.
You have a monkey in your house?
Come on.
There is not. Show the monkey.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll continue. So we added zones, and what zones do is they intercept these asynchronous operations, and they can automatically see when WebSockets or other async operations are done, and then can automatically run change detection and update the...
Sorry to interrupt you. If I think we should start, if we can do the presentation or show some slides, because I don't think people will follow your explanation, because you're just talking about the stuff.
Slides.
So just try to raise the level of energy or something. We can start over, right? So we just start over and...
No. The show's live. Like right now, the things you're saying, people are able to watch live, and I think.
Sorry.
It's recorded, but...
Okay. Sorry. So I thought it was like 1 hour before you record and then you edit it, because we never do live shows. So.
Yeah, this one's live. That's okay though. So we should try to minimize the disruptions.
Okay. Sorry.
No problem. So anyway, so yeah, we have these zones, and now if you do anything, like if you want to use the fetch API, or if you want to use WebSockets, you can just use those, and Angular will automatically know when something has come from a WebSocket or when something's completed, and then we'll automatically update the view for you, and you just don't really.
No. Sorry to. So you need to just make it interesting. Like try to.
Like we just talked about this being live, right? And
yeah, but you need to be like more energetic because I think people will lose.
I get it. You know what? If you could IM these to me or something, or give them these notes to me later, that'd be more helpful. But I think it
doesn't matter. I don't think like people aren't listening because they lost you already because you keep like saying like babbling, like just keep it more energetic, like
Okay.
Try to learn from me, like how I do my talks. Okay, so just like try to. Okay.
So.
Because you need to do your part, and then I need to do my part. So I want to.
So. Okay, yeah, I appreciate it. I'll try to not take up too much more time. So I should try to be like your Watt talk or the NGConf for that kind of energy.
You could.
So okay, so what's the deal with Scope Digest? What?
That was much better, thank you.
No, now you've been cynical.
I wish I could talk more like you. I thought that was great.
No, I'm not joking. I'm not joking.
Sure, that was funny. Gimmicks.
No, I'm not joking. I'm like really like like do it more energetic. Like do it. It will be like people will be interested. And you can do it like my talks, like Angular Connect was an awesome talk, and we did like this kind of energy.
Connect talk with where you pretended to be Dan Brown, the Da Vinci Code.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, that was great. I was laughing so hard during that talk because I couldn't believe that in a room of 1,000 people, you could tell all those jokes and not a single person would laugh the whole time, except me laughing at that.
I was laughing watching online for sure.
Okay, so me and Kent were the only people.
Okay, so no, that a lot of people told me it was nice, and even so my mother posted on Facebook that she loved the talk, and she put the link, and all of her friends of my mom's liked it, and everybody thought it was a very nice talk. So
I didn't realize your mom thought it was funny. Then obviously it was funny, and maybe everyone there just didn't get it. Maybe it was over our heads.
Yeah, so if you can like be more like that.
I think I know why you're behaving this way. Is it because of the PR, the pull request you opened last week?
What PR?
The pull request where you removed dependency injection from Angular 2? You don't remember this one? We had about 100 comments going back and forth on it. And it got opened and closed many times. It's the one, the commit message, you said fix Angular, remove dependency injection, it's simpler. You remember that? And you didn't propose anything to replace it, you just removed it. And all the tests failed, nothing actually worked. It was a confusing PR, and I think you ended a little bit offended that it got closed and locked.
Yeah, because it was much simpler, and you shouldn't like dismiss it that easily. Like when I put a lot of work into it, and it's much simpler.
Yeah, I'm sure you did put a lot of work into it. It was a good 30 files I think you deleted in the PR before you opened it.
Yeah, and I appreciate it if you like be more nice next time and not close it and like write mean stuff.
I think I was pretty patient and understanding and kind, and in the feedback I gave, I know that you spent some time on it, and I wanted to be respectful of that. It just wasn't a good fit for Angular because we rely on dependency injection.
Yeah, but you could said it a little bit nicer, not mentioning any stuff like not getting personal and stuff like that, and all of you guys like I think you talked about it in yourself, right?
We did talk about it, and I I'm sorry I brought your baby into it and your family, but
Yeah,
I
that's
wasn't
what I'm
getting through to
talking
you with
about.
reason. I had to resort to something else to get through to you, and
No, man, because you just don't do this kind of stuff, right? And what's the deal with Mishko? Why like Mishko?
you be careful, okay? You be careful when you start throwing Mishko's name around. Okay, where would you be without Mishko? Do you think
Uh,
do you think other conferences would let you show up and do your stupid talks? NG Watt? Do you think React is going to let you come to their conference and give that talk? Or Angular Connect? What would you be doing if it weren't for Angular?
I don't know. I didn't know like I just said Mishko. I
Just
didn't.
be careful when you bring Mishko into this, okay? That's all I'm asking.
I wonder why it wasn't in Angular Connect and
He
didn't
was a
know
little
you.
busy getting ready to have a baby.
Okay, I didn't know. Like,
Hey, Shy. Hey, remember how
what?
good at times we used to have together?
Yeah, it's
Can't we have that again? Can't things be like they used to be?
yeah. We should make up.
That was good. This is good.
Yeah,
This is healthy. I'm glad we came on this show to do this thing today.
yeah. I
I
think
think
it
it's
was
fun.
valuable. Uh,
Well, I got to run to my next meeting, but
yeah, me too.
this was fun. We should do this again.
Yeah, it was awesome. Thank you guys.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Well, thank you guys for coming.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks for coming on.
Well, that was awkward. Um,
I'm not even sure how to respond to that.
Nobody is.
well, at least Todd made it. He joined us.
Angular Air is off the hook right now.
What's going on, Todd?
Yeah.
Not much. Sorry I was a bit late, guys. There was a monkey flying around, Had to sort
Thanks
it
for
out.
coming on. Flip.
Yeah, well, I think, is Kent's in there being slow, or is it mine? I think everyone else is moving at normal
I
speed.
think I'm going slow. We've got bad connection.
Let's boot him off.
Sorry.
Well, so yeah, I guess we didn't talk about Angular data that much, but it's okay. I guess we got that point. Just don't fight when you work on Angular, because we're all a big community and we love each other. I'm sure Carmen can join me on that.
Okay, so
Actually,
just on that subject, first question to Todd. Todd, why do you hate Angular?
Gosh.
I just don't like red.
Nice.
Yeah, so Carmen made something for us. I guess she
Yeah.
still has it. Yeah?
Well,
Can you
yeah,
show us?
it was much bigger, but no, it's very tiny. You want me to show it?
Yeah, sure.
It's like a tiny cake with a candle. So, wait. So, Kent, I'm not really sure how you're gonna do this. So,
Nice. All right, I'll blow. Ready?
oh, it worked!
Awesome.
You have such good internet. Did you make a wish?
Oh shoot, no, I didn't. I wish that next year is going to be even more awesome than this year. Oh, I just told everybody. Oh, dang it.
It's okay.
Ruined it.
Thank you so much, Carmen. That was sweet.
My mother made it actually, but I brought the candle all the way from Amsterdam.
Yeah. Well, thank you. um, well, this episode was a bit choppy. I don't know, but in 2 weeks we have the Angular team, I guess, and next week we have something we don't know what yet. Uh, we will tell you a little bit more when we figured it out. Um, if you guys have anything to add to this year, and maybe I don't know, some wishful thinking for next year.
I would like to say something.
Yeah.
So I wanted to say, well, because I've been part of the panel for a while now, and I was here for a while, and then I kind of disappeared, but now I'm here again. But I just wanted to say that it feels really cool to be part of the panel. It's really, really nice. Like, it's very inspiring to be part of this, like with everybody. So I was actually super happy when I was able to come back and join the show. I think it's really cool that we can do this, and I really hope that it helps people. So yeah, really nice initiative from Kent and Todd that they started this, and it's and for next year I hope that we make it like even better, that we bring more awesome people to the show, and that we really just that it just works out. I really hope that. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Next year is gonna be a busy year. We have a lot of conference. I'm sure we will meet you guys over there. I know I will be at least at some of them, so I see you there. And I hope that Angular 2 is gonna get the fame that it deserves. I know I'm enjoying it while I'm using it right now, and I'm sure it will be a success. So yeah, I hope that next week is going to be even awesomer than it has been in the last year.
It's sure been awesome. I'm looking at the AngularAir.com website right now, and looking at the past episodes. I hacked this website together in a couple of hours. It's an AO. When I built this, I was, it wasn't about like, let's get the most views, let's get the listeners. Like we did have a couple sponsored episodes at the beginning, but we really haven't done sponsors. We haven't like worked on any of that kind of thing. It's all just been about like we only have so much time in a day and a week that we can to provide the most value to the community, and based off of the time that we have. And that's why like part of the reason that it's because like it's on Hangouts on Air, it goes immediately to YouTube, and then it's really easy to take the audio and put it on a podcast, and I don't have to do any editing or anything like that, because if we did any more, I simply wouldn't have the time to do it. And so I'm just really glad that we've been able to do something for the Angular community that has been beneficial to them, and we've been able to have the time to do that. And so just looking at these past this is episode 40, and it's just kind of, it's so easy to look at these, and the guests that we've had in the when the episode introducing the Angular Air panel, and we've had some people come and go on that, and just a lot of really good friends throughout this last year, and yeah, it's been an awesome year, and I just want to say thank you to everybody who has supported Angular Air in this last year.
This is how you cut. Well, thank you, Kent, for organizing all of this. I know that when I have to organize one of the episodes, it's such a mess, and you're doing it so well, usually. So thank you for that. Todd, well, we haven't had the chance to talk to you, but maybe you have some memories from the start of Angular Air that you would like to share with us.
Yeah, I was I was actually just I just muted myself. I was gonna jump in and just basically say that we obviously started this a long time ago, and then I had to duck out for some undisclosed reasons. Ken didn't boot me off the show, don't worry. And then I just want to say, well, that I think I'm very, very glad that he basically stayed at NGA and kept it going and grew it to what it was. I think he's done an amazing job with it. So I think Kent, you shouldn't be thanking everyone. We should be thanking you. So you've done a great job.
Just tweeted, current status, getting a little teary-eyed about Angular Air. You guys are so nice.
Carmen can sort of pass a tissue through, I think.
One interesting thing I was going to add was a month or two ago, or a couple months ago, when I was writing up the Angular survey, kind of just looking over the scope of everything with Angular, and it was interesting that almost every little subject that was part of that, and there were so many different things, so many different libraries, so many different people, like nearly everyone was somewhat either directly associated with Angular Air, we had them on Angular Air, or like once removed. So it's kind of funny to most of the links in that survey were to Angular Air. Like if you look at it, probably that by far the most links on that survey that's up on the Angular blog right now go to Angular Air because of kind of what we've built over this past year and the quality of guests that we've had. So I fully expect that that's only going to increase and be great again this upcoming year, and I'm really looking forward to it.
And we have to thank some of the people who couldn't be there today. Patrick is doing also a lot of work for Angular Air. So thank you, Patrick. And thank you to all the panelists who've been with us for some time and who had to left for other occupations. I won't name them because I don't want to forget anyone, but thank you as well. Hemi, maybe you have, I don't know if you can talk, but maybe you have something to say as well.
I just agree with, everything that everybody's been saying. Yes, I'm kind of a little bit preoccupied at the moment. But, no, it's been awesome to be a part, and I'm really thankful, that Kent reached out to us and gave us opportunity to be on.
Okay, well, thank you for
Solid
being here
year.
tonight.
Good job, everybody.
Yeah. Ken, do you want to wrap this up?
So, as always, follow us on Twitter and Google Plus to keep up with the latest with Angular Air. And we do have a show next week. It will be another special show. Be a bit of for everybody. And then we'll skip the show after that because that's Thanksgiving for us in the States. And we'll just go ahead and go on to December 1st as the show after that, and that's with the Angular team. So a couple good things on the way for of Angular Air. And yeah, I think we're just going to skip out on the tips and picks, and if you really wanted to pick something, then share it with me after, and I'll put it into the list. So yeah, other than that, I think we're good, and we're just gonna say goodbye. Thanks, Olivier, for putting this surprise episode together. It was really fun. It was something. So thanks for putting this together.
I don't know what it is, but what it was, but it was.
Yep. Cool.
Thank you, guys.
We'll see you all next week. Bye bye.
See you.